3 hours before I was set to vow I do. I stood frozen, staring at my fiancé's closet. My phone still buzzed with my brother's cryptic text. Don't go through with the wedding. Check Elise's closet. I chuckled at first, a nervous reflex. My brother's always been direct, sometimes cruelly so, but the stark phrasing of his message gnawed at me. It wasn't a prank. I pulled open the closet door, and what I found didn't shock me outright. It was worse. It confirmed the quiet dread I'd buried for months, smothered by what I'd mistaken for love. Tucked behind Elise's crisply pressed blouses and meticulously arranged heels was a small scarlet box, free of dust, recently touched. I lifted the lid. Inside, a cheap burner phone blinked with 5 messages from a single contact, T. The most recent, sent 2 days ago, read, "After the honeymoon, we'll plan the money transfer." In that moment, I wasn't a groom anymore. I was something sharper, colder. Elise and I had met 2 years earlier at a glitzy charity gala. Her smile was magnetic, the kind that made you overlook the calculation in her eyes. She was stunning, composed, always deliberate. I'd been drawn to her precision, the way she navigated every room with effortless grace. She made me feel chosen, brilliant, because she'd picked me. I'd shared everything. My startup's early wins, the private deals, the wealth I'd built. I thought she was opening her world to me too. Now I saw it for what it was, a meticulously crafted trap. There'd been signs, subtle but persistent. Her phone always face down. Her probing questions about my company's shares, paired with disinterest in my actual work. The weekend getaways with friends I'd never met. I dismissed it as paranoia, blinded by devotion. But that box, that phone, those messages, they ripped the veil away. My brother had never trusted her. He's brash, unfiltered, but his instincts are rarely off. After I texted him a photo of the messages, he called instantly. "She's after your money," he said. "She's working with some guy named Travis." I dug deeper. The number traced back to her ex-fiancé, the one she claimed had betrayed her and disappeared. He hadn't vanished, he'd gone dark, scheming with her since the day she'd smiled at me across that gala ballroom. I didn't break down. I didn't rage. I channeled Elise's own playbook. I got strategic. First, I called my lawyer, quietly shifting my assets, locking down joint accounts, and reviving the prenup she'd convinced me to discard. Then, I tasked my assistant with pulling every digital trace Elise had left in my company's systems. Emails, access logs, call records. She hadn't been careful. Maybe her confidence, or her loyalty to Travis, had made her careless. In the next 2 hours, I built my counterstrike. By the time I slipped into my suit, I wasn't a man about to marry. I was a force coiled and ready. The ceremony was at a quaint vineyard, intimate and elegant, packed with her family, my investors, and a smattering of reporters. Elise glided down the aisle, radiant, her bouquet a prop in her performance. I held my composure. When the officiant asked if anyone objected, I raised my hand. The crowd gasped, whispers rippling. "Elise," I said, my voice calm but cutting, "I won't marry a fraud." She tried to laugh it off, her smile a fragile mask. I set the scarlet box at her feet. "You left this behind." Her expression faltered, just a flicker in her eye, but enough to know I'd struck true. I turned to the guests. "For those invested in my company, rest assured, our finances are safe." Elise was plotting to divert funds through a third party. This wedding was a piece of her scheme. That scheme ends now. Her father stepped forward, bewildered. Her mother paled. "Elise," I continued, "you and Travis were careless. I have the messages. They're with my lawyer. My accounts are locked, your access is cut, and the prenup you didn't know about is airtight." She opened her mouth, but no words came. No defense, no remorse, just silence. I walked away, leaving the stunned crowd to unravel the scene. Let the murmurs trail her like a bitter aftertaste. That night, Travis texted me. "You destroyed everything." I replied with one word, "Good." Elise bombarded me with calls, emails, voicemails dripping with rehearsed regret. I ignored them all. She'd misjudged me, thought I was a pawn in her game. But I'd learned from her, the master of deception, and flipped her strategy against her. Betrayal leaves a strange gift, clarity, forged in the ashes of trust. She thought she'd played the long game, but I'd been steps ahead, waiting for the moment her own trap snapped shut. Elise taught me how to wear a mask. I taught her what it means to lose while wearing one.